Hey everyone, my name is Trickster, and today I want to showcase the Vorath Aquadomes mod.
Vorath Aquadomes. I worked on it together with Shiny Gotti in a partnership for the ASA Mod Jam that was organized by Sandy Studios and sponsored by Wildcard and Curseforge. It lasted from beginning of May until beginning of August. So beginning of May was the concept phase, and then June 2nd to August 2nd was the build phase. So we have built it, completed it, and published it, and now I want to tell you all about it. So to get started, there's a lot involved here, and I don't want to bore you with a lot of the details of the mod. I just want to dive right in and show you exactly how it all works. So to get started, you're going to need to tame a Vorath, and in order to do that, you need a Shocking Net Projectile. It's just a net projectile that adds an extra little shock to it, adding a torpidity as well to normal creatures, but crucial when attempting to tame a Vorath. So I've already made a few of those, and I'm going to grab a scuba suit so we can get into the ocean down here. This boat design with this little pool here is the way that we have devised to trap the Vorath, which is my recommended method of doing so. You basically go find it, swim in here, shut the door behind it, and then you can freely shoot it and feed it and do everything else you need to right here above the water, without anything else bothering you and without having to run from it in between shots. So I'll explain all that, and you'll see all that here in just a second. So let's go ahead and don our snazzy little outfit here, and let's dive into the water. And let's find one. There is a 120 in the area, and I know this because I'm using awesome admin tools that will help me to locate them. And I think it might be best to go ahead and remove right now the volumetric fog. So you do that by going to your console and typing r.volumetricfog space 0 and hitting enter. Now, obviously it's not going to look the greatest, so you can't judge anybody based off of that because it's meant to be looked at with the fog on. So, let's see. Where is this little guy? They're normally down toward the bottom of the ocean, where anglerfish are going to spawn. So anywhere that you see anglers is also where you will find Vorath. So, but I was already down here and I already saw him once, so I know he's around somewhere. Let's just do a quick look-see to see where he might be. It's off to my right a little bit, so it's a 120. He's over here to the right. There he is, I think. Yep, that's him right there. So we want to get him and get up to our boat. So here he comes. So you gotta swim quick, because he is fast. He's faster than you are usually. Yep, he's gonna knock me out. This is not gonna be good, because I'm not moving very fast for some reason. Well, let me, for the sake of the video, let's get into GCM and get him to follow that way. So yeah, that's something you want to be careful of. They will aggro from a little bit far away, and they will knock you out if you don't have high fortitude. So you gotta be careful about that. So we're gonna get him in here, and we're gonna try to get this door shut. We're gonna try to get him in here. Where'd he go? Come back over here, buddy. There he is. Oh, she's a female. Alright, so the door's shut, she's in there. And so now, let's put our normal outfit back on so we're not wasting our suit. And you need ammonite bile in your last hotbar slot. So either raw fish, raw prime fish, or ammonite bile, with the ammonite bile basically being the kibble. So it's a very simple process. You essentially net the Vorath. While it's netted, you feed it. And then you step back and you wait. Because if you look, you see the X, because it's netted, the Vorath only stays netted for about 20 seconds. But there is a 30-second cooldown on the net projectile. See the circle with the arrows? That means that I can't net it again because it's on cooldown. So, and you want to not get too close because she will attack you through the boat, and that's not a good thing. Normal tranks will not work. You can stick the trank spear bolts into the Vorath. It just won't do anything. So once your crosshair goes green and you get the check mark, you can shoot her again. And then step back and wait. So there is a very important reason why we want to tame the Vorath, and it's not just to have a new creature in the ocean. The Vorath has every Vorath in the wild has a 20% chance, once you tame it, to have a parasite. It's an alien parasite that grows only on, that they basically will cling on to the Vorath. It's called a Depthclinger, and it will attach to the Vorath, and the Vorath can be the host. Unfortunately, not every Vorath has it, so you have to tame multiple of them in order to find it. So what you do is you tame it, and then you look at it and go to this inspect option and click inspect, and you wait the couple of seconds here. And this one's negative. It does not have a Depthclinger. If it did, we would see the option to sacrifice the Vorath, which I know we don't like to sacrifice tames, but that is how it's done, or how we have to do it. So, without it being sacrificed, we can now ride the Vorath. So let's go ahead and let's check it out. So a couple things to note. First, I'm in GCM, so let me get out of GCM. So you see my oxygen stat on the right. When I get on the Vorath, it goes away. So the Vorath allows me to swim underwater without the need of an oxygen tank. As soon as I get off, the oxygen tank comes back. So that's pretty cool. And as you can see, I'm swimming, I'm basically being dragged along the ocean by the Vorath. So basically you have to find multiple of these Vorath in order to find the Depthclinger, because there's only a 20% chance. You might get lucky on the first one, but that is not usually the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the video right here. I'm going to go ahead and go get a few more, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what happens. Okay, so here I have a whole bunch of Vorath that I went out and found. The level really doesn't matter for this portion of it, because all we are looking to do is we want to see which one of them actually is going to have the parasite. So in order to find that out, we have to inspect each one of them, and hopefully one of these guys will have it. That's a negative. That's negative. 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 And negative. Okay, so let's just try a couple more, I guess. Let me just spawn in a couple here. I was worried that this might happen because there's a 20% chance. It doesn't mean that if you have 5 that there's guaranteed to be one with the parasite. Okay. Good times. Spawn a couple more and see what happens. we go. It only took 9 to get there. But once one is inspected and detected to have the parasite, it'll glow red like this for 60 seconds. So that red overlay will stay on the Vorath for that amount of time, and then it'll go away. And so you can keep the Vorath if you want to, but then you don't get the Depthclinger. So the only way to get the Depthclinger is to sacrifice the Vorath, unfortunately. So that means we have 8 other Vorath that are just tamed, and we have just sitting here. So what do we do with them, right? So that means we can use our patrol post. The patrol post is also unlocked at level 48. It is a post that allows tamed Vorath to patrol and defend a designated area. Assigned Vorath will circle the surrounding region and return after engaging threats. So it works a lot like a dino leash. So you place it down, and it comes in at medium range. You can change the range all you want, and whenever you do change the range, it'll find, every time you change the range, it finds all the Vorath in the radius, and it goes ahead and assigns those Vorath to this post. So if there's one in particular that you say, like let's say you want this guy right here to be the one that you're going to ride, so you unassign him, and we ride him over here and leave him. So you can unassign them individually, or you can unassign them all through here, or you can assign them all again, or you can just call them all over, and it only calls the assigned ones, as you can see. So the ones that are assigned are swimming up there. This guy's still staying here. So since they're also assigned, I'm going to go ahead and set them to patrol mode, and I can stop patrol mode, and they will all stop. I can start it up again, and they keep going. And I can hide that radius so that, you know, they just swim around, and any threat that comes in this area, they will take care of it for us, or try to anyway. So with that being said, now we have the Depthclinger Parasite. Now what do we do with it? This is pretty much the main point of the mod. So the Depthclinger Parasite you have to put into a Parasitic Catalyzer along with a fuel source, and that fuel source can be raw fish, raw prime fish, or ammonite bile, with ammonite bile being the best, then raw prime fish, and then raw fish. And obviously it burns through the raw fish faster than it does the ammonite bile, right? So you have to make sure that you're maintaining fuel levels. So let's go ahead and put this right about here. So when you're placing it down, you see the green cube. That tells us where the largest possible Aquadome is going to reach to. So everywhere that you look here is where that's going to be. So if we like it, we can go ahead and lock it in place, and then we can rotate a little bit if we want to, or go ahead and lock it in. So that's only if we manage to keep it a large Aquadome. And where that comes into play is with this health right here. So the Depthclinger defense health is 10,000. That's the Depthclinger inside the Catalyzer. So if you look, the Catalyzer has 5,000 health. It cannot take damage right now. Any damage done will be transferred to the Depthclinger inside. Anything between 10,000 and 9,000 health means that you're going to get the large dome. Between 9,000 and 7,500, you get the medium dome, and anything below 7,500, you get the small dome. So there is a timer that's at the bottom here that you can watch happen. This timer is counting down until the next wave will start. You can make this timer go faster by delivering a catalyst item, which the Depthclinger will request here in just a little bit. It takes a couple minutes for it to request that. And you have a 5-minute window to deliver that item to the Depthclinger in order to skip ahead to 1 minute remaining until the wave of dinos starts. Wave of dinos come in, you have to defeat them. Once you do, then it moves on to the next growth stage, so on and so forth, and it goes through 5 stages of growth. At the end of the 5th stage, at the end of the 5th wave of dinos, then once you've defeated all of them, it will generate the bubble, and then you can now move your base to the bottom of the ocean and live down here, so long as you have fuel in the catalyzer. So I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick, and then I'm just going to force the bubble to appear, which you can do using, if you're in GCM, you can use creative mode. It's right here, creative only spawn Aquadome, right? Free a Curie is what it wants. So if we do cheat, GFI, free a Curie soup. So as long as it is in my inventory, I can add it to it. And you see it immediately went to 1 minute remaining. And now we have to wait a minute. But as you can see, the little swirls inside there, they are going a little bit faster. So it's essentially mimicking that it has catalyzed the process, making it go faster. So at the end of the 30 seconds, then it's going to ask us to start the wave. If you don't want to start it right away, you don't have to, but you don't have a lot of time. If you don't start it immediately, I believe it's after a 5-minute window. As soon as that 5-minute window is done, it will start to tick away 100 health every 30 seconds from the Depthclinger. So if you think that you're just going to set it down here and leave and come back to a full-grown Depthclinger with a full Aquadome, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to start the defense wave. I let the Vorath attack it, and then I might use my red gun to get rid of the dinos. So the Vorath will go after everything. There they go. And as you can see, it's taking damage. So let's go ahead and get rid of some of these so it doesn't take too much damage. There it is. See, it went orange. So there we go. That's the end of that wave. And then let's go ahead and let's do this and watch what happens to all the Vorath in the area. It's going to send them out of the bubble. Or I guess in this case, as out of the bubble as it can get, because this is probably at the edge of the map. Yeah. Oof. Okay. Let's go ahead and cryo him. Oh. There we go. As soon as I got on him, it pushed him out. Oh, let's go the other way. So it's trying to push them out, and as soon as you try to ride them, it'll finish the job, basically, is what it's looking like. Yeah, there we go. So it's not 100% exact about pushing them out, because it can't foresee every instance of what might happen when you're trying to. What the heck? That's one of the wave dinos. It decided to come with. Alright, let's go ahead. So we'll put all these over here. And then, just to show you how it works. Oh, we got more. Good lord. I think part of the issue is that they're still on patrol. So let's unassign them, and let's pick this guy up. Yeah, so they instantly went out. This guy was inside just a second ago. instantly pushed them out as soon as I turned off patrol. So that was the issue there. Okay, so now we have a fully formed Aquadome, and the health is now 50,000 on the actual catalyzer now, or the Aquadome large. You can drink water from it, and you can still access it and get to the ammonite bile or whatever you have inside here, and it will display the amount of fuel you have remaining. If you take all of that out, it'll refresh, and you only have an hour and 37 left. So basically, what is going on there is that one ammonite bile was used up, created the fuel for a little bit of time, and when that's gone, this whole thing will just cease to exist. So now you can go around and you can clear this out, and you can place down whatever structures you want, and everything will work down here. A couple of things to note that usually don't allow you to place underwater at all. Beds, crop plots, campfires, these kinds of things. I don't need 20 of them, but that's what I got, I guess. What is going on? So crop plots, I can place them down, and they're just fine. They automatically have 300 greenhouse effect down here, and they're automatically irrigated because we're technically underwater. So we went ahead and took the liberty of adding that in, so you don't have to run pipes or anything, and you can just plant whatever you want down here. So you can also put plant species X in these, so that you can have defenses that way. You place down a couple of foundations. And you can now put a bed on here. Put a campfire if you want. You grab some wood. If you don't mess up the code, grab some wood. And you can light the fire. So it's exactly as if you lived, as if you had a base above ground. The difference is, the second you get out of here, you now have an oxygen stat. We get rid of all this extra stuff that made me really heavy. And then you got to remember that wherever you come in, there's gravity. You no longer are swimming, so you're going to fall and you could hurt yourself. So if you come in through the top, you're falling straight to the bottom, so be very careful about that. Let's see, what else? Let's see. Water creatures cannot be thrown out of cryos. It just won't let me. You see it's saying that it can't be tossed out up there. So that's a good thing. Let's see. Team summon Rex, character, BP, C, 150. So we have a Rex who's now able to walk around and breathe down here. Who, as soon as I Rex saddle, if I were to walk him out the edge, okay, dude. He'll start swimming. In which, you know, Rexes don't like swimming. So we go back in, and we're back in here, we're walking again. And let's see, you can cryo him. And then you can throw the cryo back out. Now the one thing that we need to show here is flyers. So let's do a okay. Oh, I was wondering why the code wasn't working. Okay, so let's do a GFI Argent saddle. Put a saddle on him. And then let's cryopod him up. And let's go back down. And from way up here you can see, you can kind of see the bubble. If we turn the fog back on, remember we turned off the fog earlier. So if we turn the fog back on, you can't see the bubble at all. So if you're in a PvP server, you're gonna have a hard time finding somebody that's at the bottom unless you're right up on top of them. Unless you turn off your fog, which most PvP servers have the fog off. But as soon as you come in, the fog all goes away, and you can see inside here. So we have an Argentavis here. I need to speed up time so I get rid of this cryo timer. Okay, and then so I can throw the RG out. I can fly it around. Right? But look what happens. As soon as I try to leave, exactly as you thought would happen, you hit the water and you get knocked off of it. So you can have whatever flyer you want down here, which is crazy, but you can have all your tames down here. You can build your base. You can do whatever you want to do. So there it is. That is Vorath Aquadomes. I can't wait to see what you all do with it, and I'm excited for you to get in and experience a whole new world living at the bottom of the ocean in the Arks. Thanks for watching.